So with the rails, well, they were really the only part of the album packaging that got outsourced. I bought them from a rail and track company out of Oklahoma called Cannonball Ltd. And when they got to me, they were just a wreck of just shards of aluminum and saw blade grease. So first thing we had to do there was go ahead and brush them up and just prep them, get them ready for a good hot washing. So the rail is model scale. It stands about 1 inch high, and it's made out of extruded aluminum. And since aluminum doesn't rust, in order to make the wall hanging more authentic and to get the rail to rust, we went ahead and had to paint it with a iron-based paint. And prior to doing that, we obviously had to wash off all the saw blade grease and shards of aluminum in order to get a good clean coat with the paint. So here's the desired outcome. We got a bunch of rails sitting here. They've been painted and activated. As you can see, this one's a little bit more rusted. The grayer ones, they just haven't had enough time to sit yet, but the chemical reaction it's working, and in a couple hours they'll be just as orange as the other ones. But basically, the rusting process is a two-part process. First, we go ahead and paint the rails with an iron-based paint and let them sit. And once they're dry, we go back and we repaint them with a activating solution that causes the chemical reaction and actually rusts the paint, giving the rail an old rustic look. Now some people would look at this and wonder why we didn't just fill up a big old bucket of paint and dip the rails instead of painting them individually, but first of all, that paint's really expensive, and you would use a lot to do that, and also when you dip them, you don't get an even coat, and it just doesn't look as real, doesn't look as authentic. It gets kind of runny and blotchy, so we just opted to take the time and paint them and make them look as authentic as possible. So to activate the chemical process that makes the rust happen, we use this solution that's it's a mixture of leprechaun blood and the dust from a unicorn horn that we had smuggled in from Mordor. Actually, I don't know what the hell the solution is. It's kind of magic if you ask me. But either way, we dip the rails in this solution and then we paint through it to give it a nice even coat. And then as the rails dry and time sets in, the rust slowly starts to happen. It's pretty cool.